Hi, everyone. Dave Prowse here with the tech question of the day for February 10th, 2017. This is a Security Plus question, and we're talking about identifying social engineering attacks. What we have here is a simulation. It's one of many within my Security Plus cert guide. It's part of the digital content. And what we need to do is take a look at each of these descriptions and match the correct name to each of those, and we just drag and drop those. So I'll give you a moment to take a look at this and pause the video, and then I'll come back and we'll go over the answers one by one. Okay, so the first one we have here, email sent to multiple users to a link to verify username and password on an external site. Well, this is someone trying to get your information, trying to extract your information, and they're doing it by email. They're trying to get your username and password, basically. And, the external site, the link in the email is most likely bogus. This is known as phishing. The attacker is phishing for information. And, these emails are usually sent out in bulk and done possibly by a robot program. And a computer will send all these out and, try to get 1 out of 1,000 people to actually click the link, basically. So always watch your email. Always vet your email. Scan your email. Make sure you know where it's coming from. If you don't know, just get rid of it. Just delete it. And then most likely you want to block that sender. And, never click on links if you're not absolutely sure what the link is. So that's an example of phishing. The second one, phone calls made to the CEO of an organization asking for various financial data. Well, when we're dealing with the phone, we may still be doing a type of phishing for information. We're looking for information, but the key here is we're dealing with the CEO. We're trying to get the high-powered individual, and these are also known as whales. So this is going to be called whaling. When you're whaling, you're going for people with a lot of power, a lot of responsibility, a lot of authority, a lot of knowledge, whatever. And you're trying to get information, in this case, financial data. It's known as whaling. Now, the third one here says, a phone call made to an individual by an attacker who states there is an IT issue and asks for the user's password over the phone. Once again, trying to get information. Once again, trying to get a password. So it's like phishing, and it's actually a derivative of phishing. Since it's done over the phone, this is known as vishing with a V, meaning done with the voice. So usually if it's email, you're talking phishing. If it's over the phone, you're talking vishing. And when you're trying to get information from high-level individuals, that'll be whaling. So those are some of the differences between those. Fourth, you're on a social media site and an instant message pops up from a friend with a link to a new breakthrough diet. And this is going to be known as spam. Now, if this was done by email, it would be known as spam. But within social media sites, we call this spam. And it's the same type of thing. It's advertisements that you may or may not be interested in, home mortgages, pharmaceuticals, stuff like that. In this case, a new breakthrough diet. And you may be interested, you may not, you probably won't be, and so you usually close these things. And it's that type of advertising, spam and spam, that usually you don't want to look at, you don't want to deal with. And you probably want to block those type of things. And you could do that in most browsers. So with social media, it'll be spam. With email, it would be spam. And finally, a friend, a colleague, asks you questions of a personal nature, which could be considered typical password reset questions. You never know. Is this person really a friend? If they're a colleague, you never know what they're doing, what they're trying to get from you. And in general, this is known as social engineering. And the idea behind this is you just don't know. You don't know the people that you work with. I mean, you may know some of them, but you don't know all of them. And until you really get to know them, you don't know if they're, malicious in one way or another. And social engineering could be a result of that, and they could be attempting to get information from you. Friends, I don't know, not as much, hopefully. But colleagues, you never know. So social engineering, this is more of a generic description for social engineering. And so those are the 5 answers: phishing, whaling, vishing, spam, and social engineering. And we didn't use these, but you want to know your attacks. You want to know your social engineering attacks. You want to know your technical attacks, like the Xmas attack and the spoofing. You want to understand how these things work. And you want to be able to do these types of performance-based questions for the exam as well. But you really want to know it for the field. And so, like I say, shameless plug, this is one of 31 simulations that I have here. I also have 31 videos, and then the practice exams. Lots of stuff in here in the cert guide. So if you like it, pick it up, and hopefully it'll help you to pass the Sec Plus exam. So at this point, we can submit these answers, and it says great work, and it is done. So we are good to go. And that's the tech question of the day. If you have any questions for me or comments, feel free to contact me at my website, www.davidlprouse.com. And by the way, the simulations I have in the book, they may be similar to real questions on the exam. They may not. But either way, they can be helpful to you to learn and remember the information. And the key here is really that you want to know this stuff for the field. That's what's the most important. So understand what these things are in the real world and how to identify them. If you have time, do a little research. If you don't have my book or am not getting my book, do some research and find out some specific examples of each of these and apply those to the real world. That's what it's all about, really. So again, I'm Dave Prouse, and I'll see you at the next tech question of the day.